Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Xaereth Prevails, a Grand Arena story. Guys, we are in match number 5. We're in the semifinals of week number 2 in Grand Arena season, 14. Gosh, we've had a lot of seasons, but going into it, 3-1. Need to keep that momentum. Unfortunately lost in the finals of the first week, but you guys have heard me whine about that enough, even if I don't like to think of it as whining, but one way or another, this is a more interesting one. I'm facing a dude from Team Instinct from Shadowlands, I believe. So my first round match of this week was pretty easy. He was a collector guy, so nothing against him. I just didn't really care about Grand Arena, but I mean he still played, so props to him. This guy is in a territory war guild, so he's got all 4 galactic legends, all of the goodness. So anyways, I don't want to go on at length here, guys. I wanted to mention something though. I've been really trying to keep my videos shorter, which I think a lot of you appreciate, though. I appreciate feedback. If you want more from these videos, like I'm having to cut out some of my strategy talks and stuff, and I don't know what you guys think. You can always catch me live on Twitch. You can find the link to it, super easy to find in the video description. You can find my Twitch stream or my Twitch channel. You can watch my strategy unfold in real time. But one way or another, guys, these videos I am trying to keep shorter, and so therefore I would like to know what you guys think, though. I'm making these videos for people some things I'm going to have to stay true to myself a little bit, to be honest, but, I want to know what you guys want, too, so, please let me know. I would be interested, do you guys care about fleet battles? I know that some streamers have just been taking their fleet battles out entirely, and I can understand that inclination, but, even if we don't like fleets, I feel like they're an essential part of Grand Arena. We all need to know how to do them, and if you guys don't see me doing them, I'm not saying you can't find out how to do it, but I feel like I'm kind of remiss in my duties toward you. So anyways, I've been going on at way too much length here, so let's actually just switch real quick. And let me shout out my patrons, guys. You guys are amazing. Thank you all so much for all of your support. You guys just saw that cool screen, the transition screen, and that was totally you guys. That kind of support is what we get, or that's what we get from this kind of support. So, guys, thank you so much. Thank you so much. It means the world to me. And now let's switch to the video. Alright, guys, so let's see. Here is the bottom zone of my opponent. They placed both of these galactic legends, a pretty weird raid team, and the Sith Eternal team. The Sith Eternal team it's just a bunch of leftovers. I don't know, it's pretty weird. It's a pretty weird team. No ultimate on the Sith Eternal, though. Up top, we just have, I don't know. You could kind of call it cheesed defense. I was disappointed because Grievous did not have a Droidica with him, and I really wanted to use Night Sisters. I haven't used Night Sisters on Grievous for a really long time. I've been itching to do it. And they put Newt in here. Newt stops the Night Sister counter, or at least it inhibits it. So, anyways, we got to clear that bottom zone first, and a thrown together Sith Eternal team is just fodder to all kinds of different random stuff. So I really like troopers here. My range trooper is only gear 12 plus 4 even. It's not even gear 12 plus 5. So I will say this, I didn't really play it perfectly. You'll notice as I'm doing this, I'm kind of switching targets a lot, and it's because I just don't have a unified plan. I don't know exactly what I want to be doing here, and so it's there are issues. So yeah, I'm oh yeah, we gotta kill Palpatine first, right? Then I'm no, we gotta kill Sith Marauder, because every time we hit a different Sith, the Marauder gains like 20% of something. Gains 20% of his turn meter is what he gains. And then I fat fingered that. I clicked on the terminate button from the Dark Trooper, the Death Trooper. That wasn't great, obviously, because we hadn't killed anyone yet, so we couldn't get death mark on him. And then I was like, oh, okay, well, I'm not killing Sith Marauder. Like, I'm not doing any damage here, because he keeps healing himself. So instead, let's focus on Palpatine, which was also a failure. And then I was like, you know what? Sith Empire Trooper is only Gear 12. Let's just kill him. So I killed him finally. And now that kind of opens the door for us to actually be able to get something done, except we don't have Terminate available. And they killed Range Troopers, so we're not getting all these out-of-activation shots or anything anymore. We did finally get a turn with Death Trooper, put Terminate on that on the... I almost called him a dead trooper, which he's not a trooper, but he is totally dead. Killed the Marauder, killed Relic 7 Sidious, and now we just have to find a way to kill Sith Eternal here. So, honestly, I don't know if I would have survived this. Like, I just jumped around so much. I don't know if I would have survived if I had been facing, like, an ultimate Sith Eternal, or if I'd been facing, like, a better composition than this. But you can see they even killed another of my troopers before I was finally able to get a 52 and escape from that. So that was good. Gosh, that was it was kind of harrying. I will say, I think that was probably the poorest I played, though. I think I rallied a little bit here on the rest of the matches. I'm not going to say what my results were in terms of how I ended up with against other teams, but I think that I played this okay. So let me pause it for just 1 second to give you guys the scoop. So I spent a minute trying to figure out the math of all of this, okay, so if Vader is with with himself and 3 different Empire or Sith, he's going to be plus 40. And then if he's with Watt, he's going to give him 15% turn meter. And so I did all the math, and I was like, okay, BB-8 is going to be faster than Vader. And then so I did all, but it was really good. It was going to be really close, right? So like Rey was going to do Lifeblood, then BB-8 was going to go, and that would give turn meter to everyone, and it might spark something crazy. I decided that probably I could still get Merciless off before anything too crazy happened, though. And what ended up happening was my Vader did go before their BB-8, and it was because I hadn't been counting R2-D2 being a rebel, giving Vader an extra 8 speed and modifying everything. So just keep that in mind. So my Vader is going before BB-8 here. It was surprising to me. I had to think it through for a minute. And so, I mean, that was actually pretty good news. The thing that we got to make sure we're going to do, though, is BB-8 is going to want to counterattack against me. And so you want to target him with the Force Crush, because that is going to... you can't counter someone you can't counter Force Crush. So, you know, that was going to work well. I thought maybe I could kill R2 there with a Saber Toss. Obviously didn't work, but I wasn't that concerned about it. I mean, all he has to do is take a turn pretty soon. And now I have another Saber Toss available. And we have the immunity, or the ability block on Rey. And, okay, so here's something I fat-fingered as well. I had totally intended to put the tank tech onto Shore Trooper, but I put it on Thrawn instead, just kind of out of habit. That was totally my mistake. So, anyways, we have Thrawn that went before Traya, which was good because we needed to get that isolate up on Holdo because she was taunting. And then Vader was able to... then Thrawn had a clear path to be able to fracture Rey. And now, we don't really have to worry about what Rey is going to be doing. We don't have to worry about her doing Lifeblood. We don't have to worry about her doing her saber toss, the whirlwind thing, because she's going to get her ultimate soon. I mean, I could potentially just kill her before she gets a turn, like where she's still fractured, so I might actually be able to hook that up. But one way or another, you know, we still have a little bit of time. Decided to just kill whoever that ad was over there. And now, I was like, okay, so what I want to do, we'll get Rey kind of close. Maybe we'll just get her into damage immunity now, because if we do, then eventually she'll come out of it, she'll pop her ultimate, and then, I mean, it won't hurt us that much. Like, the ultimate won't kill us, but one way or another, I was like, you know what, I'm actually close enough, and look, I have 10 total debuffs on Rey right now. So, why don't I just get her kind of close to the damage immunity thing, and then I can just pop Merciless Massacre here and just try to take her out, and it worked. So, this is a pretty well-controlled one. Normally my strategy is just like take it slow, let her have an ultimate. I don't really care if she has one. Like it's not a big deal as long as you have enough relics. You can do that. But every match with Rey, especially with these weird comps, you kind of got to just feel them out. So, I mean, that way worked pretty well. I would have been fine if she popped her ult. It's nice to kill her beforehand, of course, so not really complaining. And we got through it with 60 banners, so absolutely no complaining. In the back, there was a Mothra team and Commander Luke. I had saved, due to scouting, I'd saved my General Grievous team. And so, the whole reason I had saved my General Grievous team was to counter Commander Luke if my opponent said it. So, that's what we've got. So here you'll notice I'm trying to target these different characters because if they don't have target lock on them, they can hit me back, and we don't want them to hit us back. Now, another thing to note is you see how B1 is currently in stealth? That means that we have a turn, like we can target whoever we want and potentially get target lock on them. And they, even if we fail to, though, we can do an AoE when we're in stealth, and then they're not going to actually be able to hit us back because we're in stealth. So the goal here, now that Luke's done his stance shift and he's 100 tenacity lower than usual, he is, we can actually get target lock on him, and now we can call the mass assist because we put, with Newt, we put the mark or the extortion on him. And if it wasn't apparent to you guys, you want to kill Chewie first. He's the #1 target, and then I was surprised I had the opportunity there to actually just get a mass assist on Commander Luke. Usually Luke is like the last one you kill, but this worked pretty well. I've gotten higher banners here, but 56 is pretty nice, and that's a pretty good trade. Like that's one of the cheapest ways to counter a Commander Luke team. Okay, so we're going up top now, and I kind of got peer pressured into this. Good old Maurice was saying, he was in the stream and he was saying like, oh man, I really wanted to see, I was talking about maybe I'd use Night Sisters. He was like, man, I really wanted to see you. We're talking about that bounty hunter team, trying with Aurra lead, trying to take out Geos. I haven't seen it yet. I was like, fine, Gom, you get what you want. So I took Aurra Singh lead. She's my weakest bounty hunter. She's a gear 10. And what's going to happen here is my Bosk is at 310, Grief is at 309 speed. So Bosk is going to take a turn. So I should rewind for just a minute. Aurra Singh has her lead that allows her or allows everyone to get their contract pretty quick. All you need is for 10 characters to perform an action. It doesn't have to be during their own turn either. And so having Bosk and Grief call mass assists, like as long as both of them call mass assists, then they'll get their contract immediately, and then you can just cap Brood Alpha and call it good. So that's the plan anyways. So you have to make sure that your Geos, or that the Geos are slower than both Bosk and Grief. But like I said, Bosk and Grief are pretty fast. So let's see. You wanna do the taunt by Bosk first, because then Grief can call the mass assist, and because it's a special, and Bosk has Frenzy up from his taunt, then Bosk will get an immediate second turn right after that. You want Mando to be slow enough that Bosk still gets a turn. Here, so now after this, after I call this, everyone takes a shot, and we suddenly have our contract. Mando's ready. You target Brood Alpha, and now the team is just totally crushed. Now the race here is, like, Spy is still incredibly powerful. Like, Spy is still going to be able to one-shot us. Like, that, her ability to one-shot characters has not really been diminished in any way. So we gotta kind of rush here if we can. Gosh, that grief mass assist after the contract is so crazy. It really is. Like, it does so much damage. So I gotta finish off the brute here because we can't see Spy, and it was kind of a fail on my end. I should have used that buff from Grief because that would have given me, because everyone has their contracts, it would have given everyone 50% turn meter, which would have made sure I went before Spy. As it was, I still did go before Spy. It was just a little more dicey. So another 60 there, pretty smooth. Can go to hell pretty quick if you don't execute right, or if you miscalculate speeds. But I didn't miscalculate, and therefore it didn't go to hell, which was nice. Now, here's kind of I've been doing this lately. I don't know how I've had the opportunity to do this so much. I've done it on my alt and my main quite a bit, but I'm back to using Jedi Revan against Grievous. It's super bizarre, like, just haven't happened for a while. So, starting move, so we have Basti lead here, just to make sure that we have the tenacity to resist target locks initially, if we can, and a bunch of extra hit points to withstand the Grievous AoEs and stuff. So, you do the Saber Toss from Revan first, hand it to Hermit Yoda. Hermit Yoda trains Grandmaster Yoda, and then hopefully B2 has poked his head out at that point. If he hasn't, then you just do another AoE with Yoda. Eventually B2 will come out, so you can mark him. You need to take him out, and now if you can kill B2 before Grievous goes, there's a great chance that you win, because Grievous only gets that one AoE from things. Instead of doing an AoE, then we kill a guy, and then he has all his cooldowns reset, and he does another AoE. Like, it can get really painful really quick. So the goal here was just to kill B2, simply kill B2 before anything else happened. Before Grievous got his turn, and it worked. And now we're just waiting. We gotta wait for Revan to get his mark again, and then we can just mark Grievous and win. I was also trying to avoid hitting Magna Guard, because once Magna Guard goes, if he does a basic attack, then he taunts. And we don't want to be hitting Magna Guard. We want to kill B1, because B1 is the guy who's kind of impacting the whole squad. Like, he's the guy who you want to kill. I mean, if you could choose one guy to just remove that wasn't Grievous, like, you would almost just choose B1 instead of B2. He's kind of the linchpin in a lot of ways. He gives a lot of stats to his team, and all of those AoEs that he can do are crazy, and he provides all the turn meter, all kinds of cool stuff. So we finally got our mark, and hopefully we can just kill Grievous here. And now the whole team is gutted. It just takes a minute for them to realize that they've lost. And even after they've realized that they've lost, this is the AI, and they don't have a retreat button. So they just have to play it out. Like, you know how we complain about, like, CG, can't we just have, like, a retreat button during one of these endless loop things? Like, do we have to really just wait for us to finally get a turn? And it's like, the AI doesn't get that privilege. They don't get that option. I don't know why they would. I don't know why I'm, like, sticking up for the AI. This is ludicrous. But as it stands, we got 60 banners here, and it's pretty smooth. If you can get if you can avoid that double AoE from the start, it's pretty good. So now we've got this Mon Mothma team. So I think there's only 2 teams left, and I still have Sith Eternal Emperor on offense, and I have Jedi Master Luke, because I used off-meta counters to beat their 2 Galactic Legends. So now it's like, okay, who do we want to link here? Like Pow gets a ton of turns. I do have my ultimate here, so it's based in part on that. The ultimate is based in part on how many turns a character has or is able to take, and so I had to select Baze because he is the pre-taunt, and you have to select the guy who's taunting, and then you can select whoever else you want. So I chose Pow. One way or another, though, they all assist each other and stuff, and so Pow is kind of the obvious choice in my opinion. And you can watch the Sith Eternal's ultimate meter is rising. It's already there. They've already revived him. And I did go in undersized. People were telling me I needed to take even fewer, and I'm like, you know what? I think a 61 is probably good enough for me. Like, I don't need to risk it. Like, my guess is that Mon Mothma team, we probably still would lose. Like, I'm guessing Sith Eternal could actually just solo this team, but like, why risk it? Why risk it? And as it stands, 60 banners is a perfectly respectable score. I did not place a weak defense. I'll show you guys my defense in a little bit, but it's not weak. Like, my opponent was gonna drop banners for sure. Alright, and now all we've got left is this team. I'm gonna take Jedi Master Luke against it. It's gonna be a good time. So Jedi Training Rey with the Hero Bros, and then who is it? Is it Finn and Scav? I was trying to figure out what I want to do, so I'm taking Jedi Knight Luke here. And here's the awesome part is we can do the mass stun, and Rey just took a turn is why she's not stunned anymore, but she doesn't have the Zeta that dispels debuffs from her, so we can actually debuff her, which is nice because now she didn't get a turn to, you know, make her guys stronger or whatever. She now has her speed nerfed. She's slower than Luke now, or the same speed as Luke. In fact, slower, because Luke is gaining a little bit of speed every time he takes a turn. But one way or another, man, the Jedi Knight Luke lead ability, to be able to call everyone to assist, and then he can stun everyone, just feels so overpowered against a lot of these teams. It's so nice. So got the 61 here, and suddenly I'd already killed all of his squads. Like, we kind of ran through them pretty quick. And in the back we got ships, though. I don't know what I'm doing here. Apparently I left this little bit in the video. I don't know. I don't know what I was showing people, but one way or another, we got through, and it is Thrawn and Holdo. So I decided to take Tarkin against the Holdo fleet. This is only the second time I've tried it, though it is the second time in 2 Grand Arenas that I've tried it. So the goal here is obviously to kill all the opponent's ships and not lose any of ours. It's pretty deep, right? So Houndstooth adds kind of an interesting wrinkle here, though, because I don't have a way to dispel that breach on TIE Fighter pilot, or on TIE Fighter. So Houndstooth is just going to taunt forever if we don't find a way around that. So the question is, like, I can bring in the shuttle, and the shuttle, I think, now I'm trying to remember, can the shuttle cleanse? It can heal, certainly, but it might be wise to just heal the TIE Fighter, because then we could get breach off of it, and then we could dispel. Instead, I decided to heal Vader's TIE Fighter, which, I mean, that's not a terrible choice. And then I realized I actually hit really hard too with Vader's TIE. Like, I have all 6 E-mods on Vader, and he's Relic 7. Like, it's pretty good. Unfortunately, TIE Fighter pilot decided to bow out after doing almost nothing for me. other than allow breach to just perpetuate. And now I'm trying to figure out, like, okay, who do I need to kill first? Like, if I shoot that Millennium Falcon, then it's going to shoot back. I decided to shoot it anyways, though, because I have taunt on the TIE Bomber, and why not? So we have Biggs taunting, what a jerk. Shot at the Falcon there just to get rid of its foresight, and now, hopefully, we can find a way. I was hoping I could just get a 2-for here. Like, you call 1 assist here, so you can target the guy with more health, have Vader shoot them, and then the AoE might kill the Falcon. It didn't quite, but then Vader killed it, so we're good. And we got 63 there. Pretty good result. And now all that stands in our way, stands between us and getting a full clear, is this Thrawn fleet. It's kind of a weird Thrawn fleet. I mean, it's okay. It's got a tank. It's got Vader's TIE and the shuttle. I don't know if I've ever seen the shuttle starting in a starting lineup. I don't know if that's a good idea or not. Frankly, I'm not saying anything bad about my opponent actually and his decision making. I'm just saying I don't know. I almost think that the shuttle is better in reserves, though. I'm gonna have to read the kit again and see what the reserves, what it does from reserves. I feel like it has a really strong one. So, anyways, we're taking Malevolence against it. And this is a race against the clock because Thrawn is going to really try, obviously, to get his ultimate. If we can prevent his ultimate before he gets it. Gosh, I'm super eloquent today. If we can just take out all of the squad or all of the ships, then we're good. And Malevolence has a really great ability to just delete different ships, like especially just like random ones that don't have some kind of survival mechanic, and none of these really do. So I mean, the closest to that would have been probably like the Sith bomber, because it was distributing days. But one way or another, we got 64, and that was pretty cool. So the ending score was 21-22, and my opponent had obviously not attacked yet. I had to wait for them. I wasn't that concerned, frankly. I didn't feel like they were going to be able to beat us, but you never know. This was a pretty good score for that, though. So let's see. Let's actually switch to the actual gameplay. I'll show you, or to the actual game. I can show you guys. Hold on. Okay. So you guys didn't even notice any kind of shift at all, except for me talking about it. So I'm probably not going to edit that out because it takes work and I'm lazy. So let's go to the actual game, and I'll show you guys what ended up happening. Alright, so you see I'm matched up against a dude named Xaereth, but that doesn't spoil anything. Let's go back here. This will spoil things. It will tell you if I won or lost. So in your mind, close your eyes and imagine, just question, did Xaereth win or lose? And have that result fixed in your mind. Why? Just because I told you to. I don't know. There wasn't anything special about it. Let me know in the comments what you guys thought, though. If you actually played my foolish game. So I did get the win against Ontological. Look at how we both have much to learn, but he has more to learn. I feel like they need to modify his title. Because, guys, he didn't have a good match. He just didn't. I feel bad almost. My defenses were pretty strong, but so we got a 47 against my Rey. I was pretty sure he was going to take Supreme Leader Kylo there, and he did. And then no idea what he took against my Luke. Clearly failed a few times here. The first attack actually killed these two. No idea what he used against this. This is like my 3v3 team, actually, so I'd have no idea. Maybe he thought that he would show honor and kill that team with a 3v3 team as well, and he couldn't do it. I have no idea. He got through this General Skywalker team where for 52 or 51, one of those. I'm guessing he did the mirror match there, and then he got 58 on Padme. I don't know, maybe like Vader and Palp. I'm not sure. And then he failed 3 times on Rey and called it quits. So he didn't even clear a single zone of mine, which hasn't happened for a very long time. And I actually wouldn't even wish that on someone. That's like something that breaks someone from wanting to play Grand Arena. Anyways, my back zone wasn't going to make him happy anyways. I had Darth Revan, the full bastard version, and I had Supreme Leader Kylo back there. And then my ships were pretty tough as well. So, one way or another, I got the win. I'm in the finals next time, which is exciting, I suppose. Hopefully I don't drop the ball, and we can get the win and move on to week 3. And then we'll be halfway done with the season, and we can say gloomy things like we're halfway to 3v3 again and stuff. So, one way or another, guys, I feel like I keep saying that, but we are done. So I'm going to let you go. Thank you all so much for watching, and remember that in all things, Xaereth prevails.